Many people want to know, how do I effectively read the body language and nonverbal communication of my audience in the boardroom, over Zoom, whatever it might be? It's a good question. There's a lot of information out there on body language. There's some really good stuff and there's some not too good stuff. Let's talk about it a little bit, shall we? The first thing I want to give you is a big hint to understand body language is to look at clusters versus cues. What do I mean by that? A cue is a single gesture, a single thing. For example, if I'm scratching my nose, it's a cue. If I'm tilting my head, it's a cue. If I'm crossing my arms, it's a single cue. Does it mean something? Some people think so. Well, if I've crossed my arms, I must be closed off, right? Maybe I'm angry. Maybe I'm upset. Well, that's a pretty risky thing to do, to jump to that type of conclusion, especially in a business scenario. What if you're wrong? So that's a cue. Let's look at cluster. As you may have guessed by now, a cluster is more than one cue. It's 2 or 3 at least. At least that gives us an educated guess, right? So let's go back to the arms crossed. What if I have my arms crossed, but I'm smiling, making eye contact and nodding? Do you really think I'm closed off? No. Maybe I'm cold, maybe I'm uncomfortable, maybe I'm just switching here for a little bit of, stretching my arms out. There could be a lot of different reasons because we cannot read minds. The cluster is a better way to try to guesstimate what someone's feeling. And I do say guesstimate because there is no 100% scientific way to read body language perfectly, or else our court systems would work very differently, wouldn't they? So why study body language? It's a very useful tool. Trying to read people is tricky. What's more important is you can learn how to present yourself. This is one of the best reasons to study body language. However, let's go back to the boardroom. If you do want to try to read your engagement level of your audience, what are some things to look at? How do you know if they're listening or if they're bored? Let's discuss a few common cues and clusters. Remember, it's a generalization. Number 1, let's look at leans. Is the person or people leaning towards you or leaning away? Standing, do they take a step towards you? Step back. Sitting in their chair, is the chair close to the desk or far away? Is their back as far back as possible to the chair, or are they sitting closer? These are all different ways of judging this proximity to you. Generally speaking, we call it a lean. Closer shows interest. Further back shows desire to separate. Look for leans. Let's look at head tilts, since let's be honest, you're going to be making a lot of eye contact and looking at people. Eye contact, it's hard to know if someone's interested or not because you can stare at someone and still not be really listening to them, right?